welcome to the NJCAA Game of the Week. Two powerhouses on display today. Hutchinson, the #1 team in the country, and Iowa Western, the #2 team in the country. The tailback in the backfield looks to throw, ends up tossing it to the far side where it's hauled in, and already a first down for Iowa Western. Marshall dumps it out of the backfield. There's Sweeney with the football, and Sweeney ends up being taken down on the near side. Freshman from Kearney punted the ball 4 times with an average of 44, and this one gets blocked by the Hutch punt team, and it's going to be scooped up, and great field position for the Blue Dragons. Johnson had 5 touchdowns in the win last week. He's on the move, shakes one man, makes another man miss, showing off the power as he pounds inside the 5.
And the edge guys made the difference.
Johnson looking to throw this time, now using his legs, and look at him weave through traffic for the first score of the game.
And right there, and the defensive end just kind of there on his own on an island, and he just did it again, blew that counter up and got a tackle for loss.
From the Blue Dragon 45-yard line. Johnson turns and throws it to the near side. It's hauled in. Johnson, empty backfield, looking to unload this one. Takes a shot downfield, and it is intercepted in the end zone. The pick by Tim Roberson. Marshall really hasn't tried to stretch things out by throwing, but he'll go with a play action and finds a wide open target as he reaches the 45-yard line. A guy who coached Butler Community College, that some people might remember. Big 3rd down and 3. Marshall trying to load up, but the hesitation and the persistence ends up paying off for Hutch. Hutch wants to go up-tempo, trying to keep Iowa Western on its toes, but Christian Johnson decided to keep it, and Iowa Western was all over it. From Hutch, Marshall swings it to the right. Solid gain on the play as the Reavers get into Blue Dragon territory. Marshall decides to sling one over the middle. Marshall on what could be the final play of the first quarter. Sweeney ends up banging up the middle. 4 down territory. 3rd down and 1. They turn to Ford. Has the first down and more. He gets upended. Marsh ended up winning the job. You saw the carry there by the #2 QB. Marshall going to the air. He has his man for a reverse score. DeAndre Horn, the tight end, comes up with the field after being shaken up for the Reavers. Johnson unloads. We do have 2 flags.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And when you get a quarterback breaking left, I'm pretty outspoken about right-handed quarterbacks moving to their left.
Tied game at 7-7, 1 versus 2 in Hutch. Quick throw. It's Goolsby again. He has been the main target. They go to the ground. Hurt's got space, and he has one man to beat. No one touches him. Touchdown, Blue Dragons. The parting of the Red Sea right in the middle. Rashad, second incompletion. Let's see how he bounces back. It's a designed rollout. Marshall didn't like what he saw downfield, so he tried to use his wheels.
Out of the equation, so it just limits your options for success, and that is a bomb of a punt.
That is, and Goolsby is going to try and return it. Flag is out immediately, and he does not go anywhere.
And last time they had great starting field position, they scored, and off to a good start here. Actually have just a 4-man box here.
Marshall drops back. The throw goes over the middle. It's bobbled, but ultimately corralled. Nearing the 5-minute mark in quarter number 2, Marshall decides to keep it that time.
We talked about the building blocks. They showed the jet sweep again, and they brought the backside guard through and ran QB power.
Marshall going to the air, and a perfectly placed ball goes right to Javen Moore. Johnson ends up going down the field, and he finds his target. That will give you some space. You can play with a little bit more pace here. Johnson faces a blitz, and he ends up getting tripped up there today, throwing for 103 on 8 of 11 passing. They were trying to set up a screen. He ends up dumping it off.
That should be.
Fans in the gun does get Blue Dragon offsides, and as he throws, it's hauled in for the Reavers. As we have reached halftime, 1 versus 2. No surprise, it's been dead even through the first half. Marshall turning to the air as someone underneath ends up being hauled in. Now has the ball in Hutch territory inside the 45. Marshall, he uncorks it down the field and hits his man in stride for the touchdown. Cyrus Courtney's the one who had the grab.
Great execution all the way around.
Runyon, the Hutch native, for the extra point, and it ends up being blocked, and now a return for Hutchinson. The Blue Dragons streaking down the field, a chance to get into the end zone. It is well blocked, and it results in a return. The return man.
Passing game early, he being a little bit effective in the run game, and here's another one. But they
big block down the field. Time when you have a quarterback in rhythm like Marshall, they'll go with a little reverse. It's Ford. He made a man miss, and now he reaches midfield, loses the helmet. We do have a flag that comes in, probably.
This is a big down for Hutch here. If you can get off the field or even hold to a field goal on this drive, you're still within a possession.
Malachi Marshall's been cool all day long. This time he's got pressure, and he goes down. 2 points on the blocked extra point might be big as well. Johnson turning the throw, guns it over the middle, bullseye on the target, LT Robinson. Pressure right up the middle, and he just has to unload it to the far side. Almost was intercepted.
Yep, another Hutch penalty.
12 now for the Blue Dragons, over 110 yards. They go to the ground. Sweeney was trying to get up to the line. I don't think he got to the...
Changing their play calls there in the later downs.
Johnson needs 8 yards to keep the drive rolling, and boy, does he get it and more. Look at the speed, the spin, not a touchdown for Derek Sally Jr. Here we go, 3rd down and goal. Johnson follows the lead blocker, and he slams into the end zone. His 2nd TD run of the game puts Hutch on top. A hold of Marshall turning to the air, lets it go, looking for his man. It's bobbled, and it ended up being scooped for the INT. Are you kidding? Tip drill executed to perfection as NJ Graham is the one who got the interception.
It'll be a competitive slate with all of college football, but this is a pretty impressive play all the way around, and it's clean.
Well, the one who 4 down lineman will send just 4. Johnson over the middle. A tough grab made. It was from Hutch. 1 versus 2 national championship rematch. A little option play, and it ends up being blown up for a loss as this play got blown up early.
Taking the lead there, which actually Iowa Western just erased. Oh, and we got a bad snap.
Yeah, bad snap, and that is a costly one. It was a bad snap. Denzel Moore didn't have a chance to pick it up as Iowa Western was screaming to the ball. Field position at the 15 of Hutch. Marshall keeping it. He's got room. He shook off one defender, and he blasted his way into the end zone. One. And that's when I would ask, what are vacations? I'm sure you probably would say the same. What are vacations?
Yeah.
Here's a return at the 10-yard line for Hutchinson, and there is some space. That's a good return to the 41-yard line. Through 3 quarters, Iowa Western was at 274. Johnson steps up, guns it to a wide-open man in Reaver territory. It's Derek Sally Jr. who
again brought in some heavier personnel.
And around for Goldsby. And he is on his way to the end zone. He does get near there. They're going to mark him out at the 1.
We have a flag back here at the line of scrimmage.
It would normally another penalty marker.
Hands to the face, number 76.
That's not a.
The QB runs maybe a little bit more. Sweeney again. This time works his way to the near. They go with the jet sweep to the far side, and it was completely blown up as well. Kristen Johnson stepping up, takes a shot, and it ends up being hauled in. The man took a shot too. Johnson has to get rid of it again. He goes far side. It is Sally. Make that Shaw the third. And we did see a helmet come flying too. Facing pressure, lobs it up high in the air. Flags come out. It's an INT at the 5, which would be the game sealer with Dax Knowles getting the pick.
Win. And
number 9, defense.
live to fight another day.
And at the 21-yard line, Johnson sidesteps a defender. He went with a punt fake, got by 1. Reaches the 10, decides to take flight. At the 4. Throwing to the end zone is Johnson, and an acrobatic catch is made by Derek Sally Jr. He climbs the ladder for the TD as Hutch back to Malachi Marshall. Actually, that's Hartsfield. He's looking to throw, steps up, he bombs it down the field, and it is bobbled, almost complete. But the final tip belongs to Hutch. Score Hutch getting the W, 30-27.